Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fort for this wonderful Saturday afternoon contest. You've got no better place to be than watching us right here on the LSUA Generals channel. We're glad to have you along for the ride. Nathan Martin sitting courtside, and we're getting ready to start up this contest between the LSUA Generals and, of course, the Gold Nuggets coming in from Xavier University down in southern Louisiana, down around New Orleans. They've got a little trip ahead of them, and they, as you know, the weather outside is frightful, as they say, but they're hoping that they can get on the road before the ice shuts down the roads, and which shouldn't happen until 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So I hope they'll be okay on the road, but I also tonight, this afternoon, hoping for a big win for your LSUA Generals. It's been a good ride here. Generals that are coming off of 2 wins in a row on Saturday of last week at University of North Texas at Dallas. Generals were victorious 71 over 68. And then Thursday night right here, 81 to 74. It's time for the announcements. Let's go to PA announcer Rich Dupree for the national anthem.
Between Xavier University and LSUA. At this time, we'd ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, if you would, kindly remove your headgear as we turn our attention toward the playing of our national anthem.
There you have the national anthem, and as everyone's standing in attendance, small crowd here tonight, but we're glad. We kind of expected that with this weather. Let's start out with the starters for the Gold Nuggets of Xavier. Interestingly enough, they are not starting their 2 leading scorers for whatever reason, but their starter, number 2 from Oakland, California, Jayla Williams. Number 4, guard from Slidell, Louisiana, Tiara Tillison. And then in the forward center position, a 6'0" senior from Oklahoma City, Fatima Black. Also from Louisiana, Geismar, Louisiana, a freshman, 5'6" guard, Riley Martin. And then rounding out the guards, also playing the forward position, 5'10" junior from New Iberia, Louisiana, Layla Segur. Now let's go to PA announcer Rich Dupree for the introduction of your LSUA Generals.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for your LSUA Generals. At guard, a 5'3" sophomore from Hicks, Louisiana, number 1, Reese Stevens. At guard, a 5'9" junior from Gilmer, Texas, number 3, Addison Walker.
And there you have the announcement of the starters for the Generals tonight. Real quickly going over again. Number 1, 5'3" sophomore from Hicks, Louisiana, Reese Stevens, averaging 7.9 points a game. Number 3, 5'9" junior from Gilmer, Texas, Addison Walker. Also starting tonight, a 5'9" freshman from Houston, Texas, number 12, Sydney Person, the leading average scorer with 13.1 points a game. And then your 4th starter for the contest, 5'6" sophomore from Rose Pine, Kelly Norris, right there at 10% average, second leading scorer, or third leading scorer. And then your second leading scorer would be number 40, 6'1" center from Homer, Louisiana, Justice Young. Let's get it cranked off. Xavier will control to get us started here in the contest. And right away, we'll see the ball handler, Tiara Tilson, one of the leading scorers. She is one of 3 in double digits. And so there you have, let me get back to the right screen over here as we check out the rolling stats. It is LSUA ball. Reese Stevens with it crosses midcourt after the Riley Martin turnover. She'll come near side over to Addison Walker. Back up at the top to Person. Sydney going to bounce pass into Justice. Justice loses it briefly, knocks it out, and stolen. Back by Williams the other way. She's going to try to lay it up over the defender. Misses, hits the backboard. Second miss, hits the backboard. A scramble for the ball. Turn around with the ball. Segur. She's going to outlet to number 11, long 3 will not go. Rebound by Xavier. A lot of offensive boards there for Xavier, and a foul committed right away by Justice Young. And that's going to be her first team foul of the first period. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on the LSUA Generals Sports Media Network. Glad to have you here. We're in double sports season as baseball is kicking off. They won against Wiley earlier this week, and it's creating fun for the SID around here, who definitely gets to do a lot of running, keeping up with all the great sports. At the line, Layla Segur knocked the first one down. Second one just as good as the first one, and the lead early for the Gold Nuggets, 2-0. The Gold Nuggets come in 9-7 overall, 6-5 in RRAC action, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. So they're hoping to continue that winning streak. Of course, LSUA like to turn that around. Quickly with the ball, Reese Stevens at the top, going to bounce to Justice, go far side, looking for Addison Walker. Addison gets about 20 minutes of playing time, but that time accidentally threw it away, and it'll be a turnover given over to Xavier. So inbounding the ball for Xavier, or bringing the ball down, is Tiara Tillison after the Walker turnover. Just a minute and a half into this contest. Low score so far, but lots of action. Xavier now goes shoots it outside for 3. It's going to bounce in and out, but an offensive board and a foul right away. It's going to be, I think, on 22. Let's see the call. Yeah, Kelly Norris will get called for her first personal. And that was a shooting situation, so at the line will be shooting number 22, Layla Segur, who just knocked down 2 in a row from the free throw line. And she makes the 3rd in a row. Second shot coming momentarily. Great form. She knocked him down, remains perfect from the line. 4-0 the lead early for the Gold Nuggets. Now LSUA will reset their offense with the ball. Kelly Norris outside. Has Reese, feeding it inside to Justice, who almost lost the handle. Back to Norris. Reese on the left, going baseline. Norris cuts to the left. Now takes the long 3. Oh, and it's off the front iron. There's a scramble for the ball. Justice couldn't get to it in time. Xavier did get it. That was 22 again. Segur, who's doing everything. Bounce pass inside. You can tell Segur is the lady that they're looking for, but this time it's a 3 from the right. Not going to go, but rebound goes to Xavier. Gold Rush controls the rebound, gets a fresh shot clock. Here's another 3. It's going to be off the iron. A scramble for the ball. Xavier once again with the rebound. Offensive board being controlled by the Gold Nuggets. and a fresh shot clock. 7:30 to go in the first period. Bounce pass inside the paint. Turnaround jumper will not go. This time controlled for LSUA by Princess Golf in off the bench. And so Princess came in just a moment ago and got that rebound. So with 7:23 to go, Justice Young will have a seat as Blair Smith will check in. Interesting, Blair Smith outside or big boards. She's a little dangerous from three-point land. You better not sleep on her. So keeping an eye on that fun play. Here we go, driving hard to the line, making it happen. Princess Golf decided she wanted to make sure you knew she was in control of it. I was mentioning Blair Smith. She is 4 of 10 from beyond the arc, actually has the highest three-point percentage. She doesn't take a whole lot of shots, though. 10 shots so far this season, but at 40%, you'll take that. And the next leading three-pointer is Kelly Norris at 32%, taking 21 of 71 shots. First shot was good for Princess Golf. Second shot on the way, and it bounces around and not in. So a defensive board controlled by the Gold Nuggets by Fatima Black. Quickly back the other way, Tiara Tillison's going to move the ball around, thinking about the three on the outside. They're doing this bounce pass into the paint, and they call a travel on Fatima Black, whose feet got away from her as she was scrambling for the ball, but she was in control of it and therefore got credited with the travel. All right, little bit of pressure being threatened by Xavier. This time bringing the ball down, Princess Golf. She's going to, it's going to be thrown away to trying to get it to Blair Smith over from Sydney Person, and the ball was slightly behind her, came over here into the stand. So another turnover for the home team. 4-1 the score at 6:49 to go in the first period of play. All right, bouncing it around. Tillison with it, going to go far side over to Williams. Tillison bouncing inside. They perfected that play. Here's somebody open on the left for three. It's going to bounce around. But again, controlled by Xavier. They're going to bounce it inside. Kiss off the glass is good for Fatima Black. Her first points of the evening, and the score now 6-1. Xavier dominating the offensive boards this afternoon. And nice to see former players coming in the studio, even or in the fort, even though it's cold outside. Foul committed. First foul on Xavier. That's going to be Fatima Black, her first, and the team's first. So they show, I said that was the first. I missed one, obviously, earlier, so I'm going to double-check that real quickly as I missed a foul on Segur. So let me update my notes on that. LSUA back with the ball, trying to feed it down inside to Rito. Rito with the ball right side. Now underneath, she's got, what a shot and a foul there, but Princess Golf with an off-balance shot, drawing the foul. And that's going to be a second foul on Fatima Black from Oklahoma City. 6'0" senior, got a lot of height there, trying to box out, but Princess had the position. Misses the shot short, so LSUA remains at 1, 6-1 with 6:05. And we'll have a substitution coming here in a moment. Fatima Katembo will be checking in. Princess got the second one as Katembo checks in for Black. So Fatima in for Fatima. That's right. Fatima Katembo from Kent, Washington. Played at LSU Shreveport, transferred down to Xavier, so conference familiar. LSUA's zone is moving very well left and right. They're trying to split it with those bounce passes. Here's a three. A beautiful three. Check it out. Layla Segur gives Xavier 9 now on the lead, 9-2 on that beautiful arcing shot from well outside the three line. Princess is trying to take it all the way coast to coast, has her pocket picked by Segur. And now back the other way. Here's a moving around again. Bounce pass from just beyond the charity stripe. That one is good for Segur. She's got the hot hand tonight, plus the steal. And that makes the score 11-2. No timeout called yet by Coach Billy Perkins. He trusts his girls. Behind the back dribble for Reese Stevens. She's going to go into the paint. Now bounce pass underneath. Blair Smith with a big shot and a foul committed by Xavier. Blair will go to the line to shoot 2. I think that's on 14. Let's double check. So Fatima Katembo, who came in for Fatima Black with 2, picks up her first. And the fourth team foul. We will have Blair Smith at the line shooting 2. 5:06 to go in the first period. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. First shot left short. So 1 shot left. After this break, I think we're going to see Michaela Price check in for LSUA. She's at the scorer's table. Second shot is good. So LSUA 3 points, all 3 on 1 of 2 free throws. And so they're 50% from the free throw line. Also, Kelly Norris checked in. Lila Lewis checked in. Justice Young back in. Sydney Person back in. All those in for Blake, Rito, Goff, and Stevens, giving a break to some of the starters. Moving the ball very well. As I'm looking and seeing Lila Lewis really putting some pressure on the shooter. She falls outside. Xavier likes to work that screen. Tries to work the perimeter and then bounce pass it inside. The screen is moving well. Long three-point shot draws the outside of the rim and goes out of bounds. LSUA will have the ball. Timeout on the floor for a media timeout. We'll try to take one as well. 11-3 with 4:37 to go in the first period. Back with more LSUA Generals basketball. Welcome back to the fort where the score is 11-3. Interestingly, 9 of those 11 points for Xavier have been scored by a young lady who only averages 4.5 points a game. Layla Segur is having the game of her life. Really lighting it up out here as we take a look at some of her numbers. She's 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, and perfect 4 of 4 in her field goals. So good shot job here by Segur. How will Coach Perkins answer? Moving the ball around. Person with it now. She has Justice inside, feeding it to her. Knocked out of bounds by Fatima Katembo, the tallest player on the floor at 6'1". And she was able to get in front of Justice, knocking the ball out of bounds. LSUA needs to get it in. They do get it to Person. Person looking for some help. Comes to Kelly Norris. Norris goes baseline, goes into the paint and loses the ball. Has the ball stripped away and back the other way. Xavier, ball on the hip, no call. Left-hand side, this screen is moving even more so for LSUA. A lot of activity. Here comes the cross-court pass, thinking about the three. Defense got there in time. Back the other way, bounce pass inside in the paint. That's what their bread and butter has been. That one's missed, and rebound this time. Justice Young gets the defensive board. That's how you've got to turn that around and not give those offensive possessions and offensive opportunities. 11-3 the score, 3:36 to go. Picking up the dribble and hand it off to Sydney. Sydney goes into the paint, spinning, now kicks it out for a two-pointer from the left-hand side. Will not fall for Kelly Norris, but rebounded by the LSUA. Now there's a three from the arc. It will not fall, and Fatima Katembo gets called for the foul. And Bo Browder, head coach, looking for an explanation from the Referee doesn't understand exactly the call, but that will send Justice Young. So it was a foul away, not the shooter, but underneath, and Justice will have 2. She banks the first one off the glass. Gives LSUA 4 points. All 4 scored from the charity stripe. All 5 scored from the charity stripe. So LSUA at this point shooting 0% from the floor, but from the free throw line, 5 of 8. That's all 5 of the points. Hard to combat 2-1 and 3-1, but they're screaming their way back into it. 3-point will not go. Lost out of bounds. I believe that's going to, it looked to me like it was out on 21 for the Golden Nuggets. Alamillo, but they say it was out on LSUA. Keeping an eye on the weather around the area, especially for road closures, as I'll be traveling home to Pineville after the men's game coming up, the second half of the doubleheader, around 3 o'clock. Here's a no-look pass back to Segura, who loses it off of her own knee. And so now we have a break underneath. Sydney Person off the glass. The first basket of the evening. Sydney Person knocks it on the left-handed layup and brings LSUA back within 4, 11-7. And you maybe feel a shift? All right. Turnaround jumper from the free throw line. Off to the right. Will not go. Rebound control by Addison Walker. Now she's got Sydney again, and Sydney loses it out of bounds on the long pass from Addison. But I love the fast break. Coach Billy Brooks has a smile on his – not Billy Brooks, excuse me. Sorry, Billy Perkins. I'm going back to old LC coach from back in the 1990s. Sorry about that. Coach Billy Perkins with a smile on his face. Liked the effort. Just the execution didn't quite fall. 2:21 to go in the first period. Xavier with the ball again. 4-point lead. And you can see they feel like they might slow it down just a bit. Again, working that perimeter. Bounce pass way up top. Segura with it. Now far side. They work it around. Coming near. Now to this side. A three-pointer. It hits the rim. Will not go. And coming up with the rebound big time, Princess Golf. She's got Sydney again, and Sydney's going to lose it out of bounds. So that's 2 touchdown passes. And Coach Billy Perkins smiling and clapping his hands because he likes the execution. He likes what he's seeing, or the effort at least. We haven't gotten the points from it, but that's 2 plays in a row. We've had somebody open for the Hail Mary long touchdown pass. Just a little bit too much oomph on that one. But it's going to come. It's going to come. You can feel it. Under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Xavier with the ball again. Lafargue in the game. She has it. Now she hands it off top of the key. They're going to come over to Tilson. Tilson back out right. Again, working perimeter. Underneath Segura. She picks up her dribble. Needs some help. Almost stolen and is stolen. And check it out. LSUA has a 2-on-1 break. Going to take it to the hole, and there should be a foul there. Jump ball is what they call. Jump ball, as getting back quickly. Yara Buharb from Ajaltun, Lebanon, played over at Calvary Chapel Christian in Las Vegas, a senior here in the game, and got back in time to tie up Princess Golf. So it is LSUA ball because of the arrow, possession arrow, bouncing inside to Justice Young, and they're going to say she stepped on the line on the inbounds pass, turnover. So not the way you want it to go. 3 plays in a row. We're going to see Addison Walker check in now. And she's going to come in for Sydney Person. So, again, 11-7. It's been that score for quite some time. Xavier with the ball. Near side, they're going to work it. Again, all this perimeter passing as they try to get somebody open in the paint and do the bounce pass to her. Back up top. Thought about the 3. Far side. Going into the paint, now kicking off left. Here we go, 35 in the game for the first time. She goes into the paint, and she is fouled by Justice Young. So in the game for the first time, Tracy Thomas, 6'0" freshman out of Farmington Hills, Michigan, went to Cass Tech, comes in and is going to go to the free throw line. They've got several 6-footers, or a couple of them, I should say. Some 5'11" players. A lot of height here for the Gold Nuggets of Xavier, and the first shot swishes home off the backside of the rim. So the first score in just a little bit of time here. It's been a little bit, right, since we've seen a score. That's okay. She got them both. Last score was almost 2 minutes ago for either team. 17-15 13-7 the score. And LSUA with the ball in the game now. Sydney Person back, has the ball. They're going to go, look at here. You watch out. You don't watch Addison Walker, and she has a nice little layup to the hole and gets LSUA their 9th point, staying within 4. Credit the feed to Blair Smith, a nice assist to her. Ball is moving around the perimeter. This zone is shifting well, going into the paint and losing, and they're going to call a foul against LSUA. I thought the player lost her footing, but they're going to call a foul on Person, I think. No, they do not. They call the foul instead of Blair Smith. That's her first personal. Long three is good for 15. Yara Buharb. So ball moving around. Blair Smith comes near side, has Kelly. Kelly's going to go back over to Person, puts up the long two. Swish! Sydney Person knocks it down and brings LSUA back to within 5, 16-11 after that three-pointer made the other way. Here comes another three at the buzzer, will not go. So after one, Xavier has 16, LSUA 11. That's your first period score after one period of play. They'll take a quick timeout, mute the mic, come back in a minute with more on the LSU. Back to the fort where everybody's chit-chatting. Nice crowd for a cold and rainy Saturday afternoon. So glad to see the folks that made the trip out here for this LSUA Generals game. Ladies are trailing 16-11. They've been out-rebounded 9-6, and the big number there has been the offensive boards. Xavier has 7, LSUA has 2. So you can see that's been where the advantage has been. And again, points off turnovers, 10-2 favoring Xavier. So those turnovers, 8 for LSUA, 4 for Xavier, have definitely created a difficulty for Xavier. For LSUA. But here in the second period, let's see if the next 10 minutes will make a difference. They're going to bounce it inside in the paint. Turnaround left-hand shot goes for off the bench, Tracy Thomas, the 6'0" freshman from Michigan. And now the press is on. LSUA's got to get across the timeline, and they're going to lose the ball underneath. They're going to say a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor LSUA. So that's the second time the jump ball has favored LSUA when it was LSUA's possession. So not the way you want to use that possession arrow, as Xavier now putting on a full-court press, trying to rattle these Generals. Kelly Norris gets it in to Blair, and then tries to do the long pass, trying to get it down to Walker. It was overthrown and recovered by Xavier. Back the other way, cutting into the paint, and it's good. Fingertip roll-in is there for Jayla Lafargue, and the score 20-11. So quickly, 4-point roll. But the answer and the putback, Blair Smith on the rebound. She gets her own rebound, and she's fouled after the missed shot just prior to that. So Segura picks up her second personal foul, first team foul of the second period, as Kelly Norris missed the layup. Blair Smith got the rebound, put it back, got the rebound, tried to put it back, and was fouled. So at least 2 good offensive boards there, and Blair will shoot from the free throw line. And she's pretty handy there. I'm going to see if I can get her to come over and talk to us during the men's game. I've enjoyed watching her, especially last year, rebounding from that ACL tear and then working so hard to come back and be such a productive member. She knocks them both down. Again, Blair is that surprising three-point shooter as well. She doesn't take very many, but you like that 40% percentage when she does. 9:08 to go. LSUA has brought it back within 7, 20-13. They had been outscored opening 4 points for Xavier. Now LSUA puts a little bit of its own press. Trying to put some pressure. They're going to move it around the left for the three-pointer. It's going to be too much on it. Coming down with the rebound, Kelly Norris. She's going to give it out to Reese Stevens, back with a couple of starters in there. Rito on the floor still. They're going to get it to Sydney. Sydney thinks about the three, takes the three, misses the three. And the rebound controlled by Thomas for Xavier. Quickly back the other way, stepping up the offensive. Oh, and a foul. You can see it right there. Trying to keep her hands up, but Rito is going to get called for her first personal. Cortland Rito, hailing from Opelousas. That's a good Opelousas name, right? Played over at Southern Arkansas Tech before transferring to LSUA. Oh, check that. They're going to say it was turnover. Let me scratch that foul. Okay, back the other way. Trying to look at my sheets and seeing it wrong. Has the ball, Rito has the ball knocked out of her hands, but recovered. Oh, and a block as Princess Golf was trying to take the shot, and Reina Alamillo from Oceanside, California got the block. LSUA will inbound with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Reese has it, goes baseline, puts up the shot, and called for a travel. So turnover that way. Looking for, I'm going to scratch that one foul that I put off of my book. Got her trapped, and it's a steal back the other way. Sydney Person gets the steal. Going to go to Rito. Rito's tripped up, trapped up. Now the turnaround jumper is good. Left-handed layup for Sydney Person. And LSUA has 15. Remember, the first 5 points for LSUA were scored from the charity stripe. Here's a jump shot. Going to be left off and a whistle away from the ball. Conference between the referees.
General foul call on 22, Kelly Norris, first second, team first of the second.
Okay, so let me double check here. So Kelly did have that foul a while ago. Man, I'm going to get this right eventually. 2 for Kelly. Shot put up and made for Xavier. Gives them a 7-point lead, 22-15, as Riley Martin made the jumper. Blake trapped, needs some help. Underneath, Sydney. She lays it in. Excellent play on the assist by Princess Golf, who saw the wide open Sydney Person. Now here comes the long shot, the long pass, I should say, and blocked. Come on now, Princess Golf is going to get called for a foul, and I thought she got ball. But no, it won't be Princess Golf called. Maybe that's why I saw Princess get ball, but well, they did say it was Princess Golf. Okay, so Princess picks up personal 1. Second team foul the second half. And that will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Thomas from the line, as Xavier will bring Renee Tumblin in from New Orleans, Louisiana, played over at St. Thomas University. She'll check in for Lafargue. But at the line, and a perfect form for Tracy Thomas, gives her 5th point of the evening. Looking.
Let's switch it up. Let's do this after the game.
All right. Second shot is good. Just got word from Coach DeMario Jackson. Rather than talk to me during the second period, he's going to come talk to me after the game. So I'll look forward to that quick chat with him. after the contest. I have a feeling he's like, keep a couple secrets out there. And so I look forward to having that discussion. All right, with the ball back on the floor, Reese Stevens in the general position for the Generals. And she's being harassed, but keeps the ball, goes far side. Sydney for three. Off the back rim, will not go. And rebound controlled by Thomas. Xavier with the ball, has that board. Now Thomas is going to take the long shot, misses it to the left. And Sydney Person returns the favor by getting the rebound. Quickly down, Kelly Norris with it. Underneath, she gets it to Rito off the glass. Good! Rito gets her first points of the evening. And there's a nice turn of events, 24-19, still a 5-point lead as Xavier trying to break this press. They're going to feed it underneath to the wide open. I think that's, got to double check the number. The long hair covers the 5. That's what it was, Renee Tumblin from New Orleans. Broke the press, now back Caitlin Black, number 5. I can see her 5, her hair is a lot shorter. Blake from Zachary, Louisiana is going to get it over to Reese. Now far side, Kelly thinks about the 3, goes baseline, stop and pop, and too much. Rebound for Xavier. 5:44 to go in this second half. Xavier moving the ball around perimeter again, now going into the paint. Shot put up and missed. Kelly Norris with the rebound. Kelly saw Reese for a moment. Gives it over to Blake. Top of the key, Caitlin Blake. She averages only 3 points a game, but gets a good 13 minutes as she goes to the hoop, trying to get the layup and is fouled. Drew the foul on number 5. Great job there by Caitlin Blake, drawing that foul against Renee Tumblin. So she'll go to the line to shoot. We will see in a moment a couple of subs. I see Blair Smith coming in. I also see Justice Young checking back in along with Princess Goff. So getting some fresh legs in there for Kelly, for Person, and for Rito. Caitlin with that left-handed shot knocks it down, just tapping the back of the rim. Beautiful shot. 26-20 with 5:20 to go in the second period. Knocks them both down, does Caitlin Blake. And now on the other side, Fatima Black will come in for Tracy Thomas, who's got 6 points off the bench. 4 of 4 from the line, plus 1 of 2 from the field. 5:12 clock rolling. Xavier trying to find somebody bouncing inside. Caitlin Black. Caitlin Blake steps in front of it. She's going to take it to the hole, and she will be fouled. She drew that foul on Taylor Harris, I believe, is the player who committed that.
Foul is going to be on Xavier's number 11, Riley Martin.
Oh, number 11, Riley Martin. Saw the number wrong. So that will send Caitlin Blake back to the line. And Caitlin Blake getting, again, those precious moments. Just a freshman, but you can see the future in her eyes as she knocks the first one down. Second shot up, misses it, and rebound controlled by Williams for Xavier. Williams comes over near side to Tillison, back up top to Williams. They feed it down inside, losing the ball, and Blake gets it. Another sure-handed steal by Caitlin Blake. Will she take the 3? Will she work for the inside shot? She's looking around, trying to find somebody, hands it off to Blair. Blair Smith goes to, Reese has the ball knocked out of her hands, so out on Xavier. LSUA will have the ball with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Chance to reset the play. Trying to get it over to Reese on the left-hand side, and quick hands by the Xavier player. Jayla Lafargue knocked the ball out of bounds. Hailing from Lutcher.
We have a media timeout.
Lutcher High School in Paulina, Louisiana. Hey, they say it's a media timeout. LSUA's worked to back within 4. I'll take a brief pause for the pause. Back after this. She's got 2 points, only 1 of 5 from the field, but she's perfect from the charity stripe. On 1 of 1 shooting. Somehow Xavier got control of the rebound, and that should be that is the end of the half. So after 2 periods of play, Xavier 37 extending their lead over LSUA with 28, and that is your halftime score. Take a quick break. I'll come back in a minute and give you some updates on the foul situation. And welcome back to the Fort. Halftime, 37-28, an 11-point lead for the Gold Nuggets of Xavier. They led by 5 after 1, lead by 11 after 2. LSUA had gotten within 4, and then the Gold Nuggets stretched it back out just a little bit. I do have all my foul situation corrected. I will tell you here are the players for the Generals who have the fouls. 1 each for Reese Stevens and Princess Golf. 2 each for Kelly Norris, Blair Smith, Cortland Rito, and Justice Young. On the other side, nobody with more than 2 fouls. Fatima Black, Fatima Katembo, and Layla Segur with 2 apiece. Segur got her 2 early and then has played foul-free ball. 1 apiece for Jayla Lafargue, Yara Buharb, Riley Martin, and Renee Tumblin. But the scoring leaders in double digits for Xavier, Layla Segur with 11, 6 each for Buharb and Thomas, 4 for Lafargue, and then 3 apiece for Martin and Williams, 2 each for Black and Tumblin. And so that double-digit points there by Segur makes her the leading scorer and the only player in double digits for LSUA. Sydney Person has 8 points and the leading scorer for LSUA. Addison Walker with 5. Blair Smith, Caitlin Blake with 3 each. Reese Stevens, Justice Young, Princess Golf, and Cortland Redo with 2 apiece. Lila Lewis has that 1 free throw. So there you have your scoring leaders. Walker has hit 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. That's the only three-pointer that LSUA has hit. On the other side, Xavier not a whole lot better. They're 3 of 15. It's taking a lot more. But Buharb, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and then Segur has that other tray for them. Field goal shooting, though, definitely favoring Xavier, 11 of 32, getting a lot of offensive boards and putback opportunities for the LSUA, only 8 of 17, so 8 of 19. So interestingly, even though LSUA has a better percentage at 42 over the 34 for Xavier, when they've taken that many more shots, they've taken 13 more shots, so the percentage is lower, but they made 3 more. And what we see is that the field goal percentage for Xavier went up from 22 to 50% in the second period. LSUA struggling in that second period. As we look at some other numbers that are interesting for you, the free throws in the first period, Xavier 6 of 6, and in the second period 6 of 8, so they're 12 of 14 from the charity stripe. LSUA 11 of 16, so percentage is not as well as you would like. 85% for Xavier, only 69% for LSUA. Largest lead, let me see here. Largest lead is where it is right now, 37-28. LSUA has not led in this contest. So, interestingly, the stats are a little off on that. The largest lead was with 56 seconds to go. It was a 10-point lead. I guess if I do my math right, I'll realize we're at 9-point differential, not 11. So all you folks who were laughing at me just a moment ago, yeah, you're welcome for the humor. Hopefully it'll warm you up on this afternoon as I got my numerals reversely digitized. Hey, thanks for being with us this afternoon. Don't forget, we've got the doubleheader coming up after the conclusion of this ladies contest. The Generals will be here, and we will see a great game between Xavier Gold Rush and your LSUA Generals. Gold Rush are 11-5 overall, 8-3 in RRAC play. They've won their last 2 games, and they're 5-2 on the road, averaging 81 points a game. Been pretty dominant. They've got a midseason transfer coming in, Jamal Gibson, who had transferred in for the Gold Rush, is averaging 16 points a game. He's a beast, knocking down 55% of his shots. They also have 4 other players in double digits. So, been Traven Phillips with 15.9, Xavier Turner with 12.9, Nasir DeGruy 12.1, Elijah Tate 10.8. So you got 5 players in double digits. LSUA is 10-3 overall against Xavier since they started playing back in 2016. And LSUA has won the last 2 times they've met, lead the series 5-1 overall at home. But Xavier coming in tonight feeling like they're the stronger team. And the question will be is, are they the stronger team? And what does that midseason transfer do for them as LSUA 13-6 overall, but 10-3 in conference. So definitely not a slouch team here in LSUA Generals. I mentioned to you a moment ago, normally we interview our head coach, Demario Jackson, during the second period of the men's game, and he said he wanted to wait till after the game. I think he's got some things up his sleeve. He wants to keep the intensity up. So we will be looking forward to that interview with Coach Demario Jackson at the conclusion of the men's game. Hopefully, at the halftime of the women's game, we will have LSUA coach Billy Perkins. He often gives us the opportunity to chat with him. I'm sure right now he's hyper-focused on the adjustments that need to be made for the Generals. Right now, the score, 37-28, a 9-point lead for Xavier. Nobody in foul trouble yet, only 1 player in double digits. What will be the final score? Take a quick break. Be back with more action right here from the Fort on the LSUA Generals Sports Media Network. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to the fort. Checking some audio situations here is getting ready for the second half of this contest. We're 2 minutes away from starting us out, and hopefully you're hearing us very well. If not, call Tyler. He's the man with the plan. Gold Nuggets are up 37-28, 9-point lead. And interestingly, we had noticed before the contest that Gold Nuggets did not start their two leading scorers, Shania Swan from Miami Gardens, Florida, Alicia Blanton. Alicia from Richmond, Texas. Swan averages 13.3 points a game, Blanton 12.2. Neither one of them starting tonight this afternoon. Tiara Tillison has started here in the contest, but what we see is the leading scorer has been Layla Segur, has 11 points, the only player in double digits. Yara Muharb with 6 on 2 trays. Tracy Thomas with 6, and then 4 for Jayla Lafargue. So the deep bench of the Gold Nuggets definitely effective this afternoon. Leading scorer for LSUA, Sydney Person with 8 points. And Sydney, very good ball handler and very good shooter. Sydney adding to her, doing her contribution here. She averages 13.1, so she's the leading scorer for LSUA, a little over halfway there. Need to see how much more she can step up. Blair Smith with 3, Caitlin Blake with 3, Addison Walker with 3. Great substitutions there, great help from the bench in the persons of Blair Smith and Caitlin Blake. Addison, the starter, she averages 4.3, so she's close to her average here in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see how we get this thing started in the second half, where LSUA will have the ball to get us cranked off as we start off the second half, possession arrow favoring the Generals. And so right here in front of us, Kelly Norris will inbound the ball to start the second half. The third 10 minutes of play, she gets it over to Reese Stevens. Reese generaling the Generals, back to Kelly. Kelly looking for some help, goes to Reese. Getting back to Sydney Person. Sydney, top of the key, bounces, comes near side, thought about the 3. Oh, trying to feed it inside to Justice Young, deflected to Sydney, back rim, will not go, fighting for it underneath. It's going to be lost out of bounds on Xavier, so LSUA fortunate to retain possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Should be 22 because only. All right, they get it in, and we have a 5-second call. So Xavier's pressing defense did indeed effectuate a turnover by LSUA. No score in the second half yet as we continue with the action here from the fort on this cold Saturday afternoon. But I got to tell you, what a great crowd for such bad weather. Xavier with the ball goes cross court, thinks about the 3, instead bounce passes it, or long cross court pass. Now we see again the fake 3, not taking a whole lot of them. Now they're going to come near side with 3 seconds on the shot clock. They get it off with 1 to go. It's going to draw iron, so no shot clock violation. An offensive rebound, which they have controlled. And then bouncing over right-hand side for 3 again. That one is good for Riley Martin. And so Riley Martin gets that beautiful 3, giving her 6 points on the evening and the first score of the second half. Sydney with the ball. Double team, goes to Justice, over to Reese. Reese thinks about 3. Kelly for 3 from the right. Swish! That's what we like to see. Addison Walker knocking it down. Now sometimes we'll get their numbers mixed up there, but nice to see Addison Walker knock that one down, giving her 8 points on the evening, and tied for the leader for LSUA. Answer your 3 with a 3, keeps the score differential at 9. Here's another 3 back the other way. That one's not going to fall. Over the back, finally, thank you very much. That will be the call on Taylor. Layla Segur, 22. Third personal for Layla, who's the leading scorer tonight, but not a shooting situation. That was an over the back on the rebound. So LSUA will get the ball inbounds. Full court press applied by the Gold Nuggets. Justice Young handling the ball uncharacteristically outside. Gives it over to Reese now. Reese is going to go left side, goes baseline, and is pushed out of bounds by Jayla Williams, I believe. Should be her first personal. Yep.
Xavier foul on number 2, Jayla
So
Williams.
Jayla Williams gets called for her first personal. LSUA retains possession, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Got to edge into this deficit. Here we go, left side, and a whistle away from the ball.
Foul called on the Generals 12, Sydney.
So they call Sydney Person for an offensive foul away from the ball. That's her first personal, but the turnover that you don't like there as you're trying to work your momentum. Bounce passing it inside, now right. Cross court, they like those cross court passes. Losing the ball out of bounds, not able to hold on to it. Riley Martin had the ball knocked away from her, but it was LSUA who knocked it away, so out on the Generals. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Martin will inbound, she does. Here's a 2-point attempt, will not go, and the rebound controlled by Kelly Norris. Kelly comes over near side for the long three. Oh, and it falls good for Addison Walker. And Addison Walker with that tray now becomes the leading scorer for LSUA with 11 points, first general in double digits. There you go, Addison. That's 2 in a row. Let's keep it going. Brings the deficit to within 3, and Justice Young is going to get called for a foul. She can't believe it. Hands were up in the air, but the body check is what they're going to say. So Justice picks up number 3, and Blair Smith will check in for her to preserve Justice's opportunities to play later in the contest. She averages 19 block, or not averages, she has 19 blocks on the year. Number 1 blocker as Jayla Williams knocks down the first of 2 opportunities. Second shot is good. So 8-point lead, 42-34. Sydney Person with the ball on the right-hand side. Has a splicing Reese Stevens. Going to put the ball off the backboard. Will not go. And Xavier comes down with that board. Coming down with it is Lafargue. Going to go coast to coast. And we're going to have an is it? No, it's a travel. I thought it was going to be an offensive foul as taking the charge. Blair Smith stood there and took one for the team. But instead they call the offensive or the turnover on Lafargue instead of an offensive foul. So net result is a turnover either way. Blair gives it off to Walker. Walker topside Kelly. Kelly Norris looking for some help. Goes underneath the Person off the glass. Bank it home, baby. She went to the bank and made a deposit. Did Sydney Person. And that gives her 10 points. The second general in double digits on the evening. 42-36. In the paint, shot up, will not go. Over the back, no call, and it's going to be out on Xavier Williams. I thought Williams went over the back, but she did hit the ball out of bounds, so LSUA will end. But they're having a conversation between the referees. And now they're saying Xavier. That. It sure looked to me like there was an over the back and a knock out of bounds, but overruled was the referee by the senior official. 6:26 to go in the third period. 6-point game. Xavier with the ball. Here's the 3 from the top of the. Nope, it's going to be a 2, and rebound offensively again. Addison got her hand on it, couldn't hold on to it. Top of the key and they call Fatima Katembo for her third personal. Away from the ball, she's holding her hands up like, what did I do? She doesn't know. The referee called it. LSUA with the ball, trailing by 6 with 6:07 to go in the second period. Here's Blair Smith shouldering her way now left-hand side, looking for three. Swish! Addison Walker, 3 trays in a row, gets the smiling high five from Reese Stevens, and that brings LSUA within 3, the closest they've been since they were down 5-0. Right side, Xavier tries to go baseline. Now a thrown away ball. Could not have any better outcome for LSUA as Riley Martin threw the ball away, trying to come with a cross-court pass, and literally nobody there to receive it. LSUA will have the ball, trailing by 3, 5:41. We like that momentum. Conversation being held. Coach Bo Browder looking for some kind of explanation for what, I don't know, because that was clearly a thrown away ball. And full court press. They call off of it. Sydney Person has the ball. Coming across with Riley on her. Martin's going to give it away. Thrown away. Sydney trying to get it over to Kelly. And Kelly kind of moved at the last second away as the pass came and couldn't reach her hand back to get it. So there's a turnover for LSUA. Oh, tipped. Good hands by Kelly, but retained by Lafargue. In the paint, shot up, will not go. Sydney Person gets the rebound, looking for some help. Don't get your pocket picked. Finds Addison left side, back up to Reese, and they'll reset an offense. 5 minutes to go in this third period of play. Addison sees Reese and throws it to her, but a little bit too high, so she couldn't continue her momentum toward the basket. Now she's picked up inside. Blair Smith, she's fouled by Jayla Williams. That'll be Jayla's second personal, and Blair is dangerous at the line. We have a timeout on the floor. Timeout for the media. LSUA knocking on the door within 3, and a chance to score more when we come back on the LSUA General Sports Media Network. All right, welcome back to the Fort. That wasn't an echo. That was just me having so much fun. 4:47 to go in the third period. Glad to have you along. Nathan Martin sitting courtside with young Corbin Unsicker over here handling the audio for us and trying to make us sound good as best we can. It's a 42-39 contest. LSUA has fought their way back from what was at one point an 11-point deficit, and now has an opportunity to get it closer with 2 shots coming up in a moment by Blair Smith. She makes them pay with the first one. So Blair Smith with that sure-handed shooting form. Knocks them both down. She's 4 of 5 from the line. I like that 80% number, don't you? A 1-point contest. LSUA trailed by as many as 11 at one point. Got it back to within 1. Xavier with the ball. Cross court. Abu will take the 3. And she airballs it. Rebounded by Reese Stevens. An uncharacteristic miss there by Yara Buharb. And Reese loses the handle. and loses the handle to Fatima Black. So LSUA has to get back on defense. Had the opportunity to get their first lead of the contest. Here's a 3-ball. That one off the back iron. Reese gets the rebound again. Man, check out Reese with the rebounds. 2 in a row. And now she's being harassed. Behind the back dribble. Goes around the pick by Blair. Now left-hand side. Let's put up the 3. Oh, it rattles in and out. Would not fall for Prince's Golf. LSUA had a chance to go up by 2. Missed the shot. Back on defense. Fatima in the paint. Turnaround jumper will not go. Blair Smith fighting for it. Bounces it over to Reese Stevens. So not sure if they'll give Reese or Blair that rebound there. Kelly Norris goes around and is fouled, no call, gets her own rebound. Now Reese for 3. That one's good. And the lead for the first time in the contest goes to the Generals. LSUA up 44-42 with 3:09 to go. Mark that point where LSUA got their first lead. The first lead. Underneath, off the glass, will not go. Great job there by Sydney. Check that out. That was Prince's Golf. And going to the ground hard, Williams, no call. Ball goes out of bounds on Xavier. Actually out of bounds on LSUA, they say. Nope, on Xavier. Okay, we'll get it right. Starting to get a little physical out here as Williams went to the floor very, very hard. Just saw substitutions here for LSUA. So you've got Xavier did sub in Martin, Segur, and Blanton as LSUA trying to check their subs. Get it in. Pushing and shoving, no call. Prince is now feeding it down inside to Michaela Price. Michaela misses a shot. Kelly gets the rebound. She's going to pass back to Michaela. Kayla off the glass. Finger roll in, good. Body play there, and LSUA has a 4-point lead. Their largest lead of the contest. And the frustration, pickpocket. Caitlin Blake gets the pickpocket back to Norris off the glass. There's a foul. Foul's going to be on Williams. I believe that will be her third. Just a frustration foul by Jayla Williams, who that's all she could do was foul to try to prevent her from scoring. And that's going to send Kelly Norris to the line as Jayla Williams picks up her third personal. 2.21 to go. 2 minutes, 21 seconds in the third period. And LSUA extends the lead to 5 on the Kelly Norris free throw. Such a soft, delicate shot. The ball kind of hung up in the net. Beautifully done. Kelly Norris with her second shot in a moment. In the air and through the bottom of the cylinder. And now a 6-point lead, 48-42. What a swing of events as LSUA has outscored Xavier 20-5 in this third period. Xavier back with the ball, trying to stop their drought. Cross-court pass comes. Williams takes the 3. Foot was on the line. Count the 2. Foot was on the line, so Williams gets a little payback. And Xavier now putting on some full-court press. Kelly Norris has Tillison on her. Moving around. Goes in behind Williams. Now goes to Michaela, going for the hole, and the ball lost out of bounds. Stepping in the way was Lafargue, I believe. No, Segur. And Reese Stevens is going to come in for Kelly Norris, who gets the standing handshake all the way to the end of the bench on her great play there. 16 seconds on the shot clock, minute 39 in the third period. Addison gets it into Caitlin Blake. Ball stolen by very alert Jayla, and the left-handed layup is good for Jayla Williams, who anticipated the pass to Reese, stepped in front of it, and brings it back to a 2-point game. No letdown here. Caitlin Blake with the ball. Let's score, girls. Let's score. Caitlin way outside, goes over to Reese. And also way outside, 16 on the shot clock. Behind the back dribble. She's going to go baseline and has it stolen. That's 2 steals in a row for Xavier. And Jayla Williams puts up the 3. She misses it, though, and this one, Caitlin Blake, is going to have the rebound. Slows it down. Thought she had a break opportunity. Gives it over to Rito. Rito back to Blake. Blake now to Rito underneath and has the pass stolen. Stepping in the way was Riley Martin, and completely open and tying the game back the other way, Layla Segur. And Layla Segur scores on the layup from the Riley Martin pass, giving her 13 points. She'd been quiet for a while. Was the leading scorer in double digits with 11. Her first points in about a quarter. Playing for the last shot. It's a long desperation shot. Will not fall, and a foul against LSUA. So Addison Walker gets her first personal. So with 4.1 seconds to go, Xavier will inbound, and LSUA decides to try some pressure to make them work hard to get it across. They've got 2 seconds, 1 second. At the buzzer, will not fall. So at the end of 3 periods of play, LSUA and Xavier are tied at 48 on the Herculean comeback effort. LSUA scoring 20-11 over the Gold Nuggets, and that's your score at the end of 3. I'll take a quick break. Back with the 4th and final period of play, the last 10 minutes right after this on the LSUA General Sports Media Network. Welcome back to the Fort, where we're all tied up, trailing by 9 at the half. LSUA exploded with a 20-11 lead, point scored in the 3rd period. Largest production for LSUA. They scored 11 in the first, 17 in the second, 20 in the third. Can the momentum continue as they held Xavier to just 11 points in that 3rd period of play? However, the last set of points have been scored by Xavier. So as you look at what's been going on, it's a battle back and forth. 48 apiece. Xavier starts out with possession in the 4th period, which means the possession arrow will favor LSUA. Don't want to take advantage of it if you don't have to. Tillison comes over near side to Martin. Martin back. Tillison turning around, will not go. Rebound Justice Young. So there's the opportunity for LSUA. As Segur missed the shot. Here we go. Person off the glass gives LSUA the lead, 50-48. That was actually Blanton who missed. And Blanton, as I mentioned to you earlier, the second leading scorer. And back the other way, Xavier ties it up. But Blanton did not start and has not played much until just now. Interesting call by head coach Bo Browder. Trapped just across the line. Kelly Norris has to hand it off to Reese Stevens, who gives it over to Addison. Addison back to Reese for 3, will not go. Left it just a little short. We're still tied at 50. Speeding to the hole Layup will not fall for Jayla Williams. Rebound controlled by Addison Walker. Kelly Norris has it, gives it over to Sydney, now to Reese, top of the key. Reset, 20 seconds on the shot clock, 8:25 to go. Feeding it down to Justice. Justice gives it off to Kelly Norris. The waiting trailer was there, and the smile on her face says it all. LSUA's lead 52-50 with 8:11 to go. Final period of play. In the paint, turnaround will not go, and a foul call. He'll be going to the line, as I do believe they're going to call Kelly Norris for that one.
General foul 22, Kelly Norris.
So Kelly Norris will get tagged with her third personal. First team foul of the fourth period will reset team fouls each quarter of play. And that means going to the line is Alicia Blanton. Second leading scorer, and hits it off the back iron. No good. Just really interesting to see. Alicia typically does make the second one. Only 8 minutes of play here. The other leading scorer, Shania Schwann, has not even played a minute, so not sure she's not dressed out, but not on the floor at the moment. 1 point lead. Justice Young with the ball. LSUA gives it back over. Kelly coming near side for three, and is blocked out of bounds. So heads up play by Jayla Williams to block the three-point attempt by Addison Walker, which was probably a good idea because Addison's 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. They don't want to give her any looks at all. Addison Walker, the leading scorer, with 14 for LSUA. Trying to get the shot up. Justice Young was fouled in the process by Fatima Black. So that'll be Fatima Black's third personal. First team foul, but since it was a shooting situation, Justice will go to the line to shoot two. First shot missed by Justice. I see the referee standing there conversing with Fatima. Fatima saying, I had my hands up. Referee explains why he called the foul. Now he backs up to allow on the second shot rebound attempts, hopefully not needed. As it was not, Justice Young knocked it down, going back to a 2-point lead for the Generals. 53-51, 7:40 to go. A lot of time left in this contest, but the Generals are going to be called for a foul on Addison Walker. Addison does not like that call at all. Her second, far away from the ball. They're going to say she did some shoving with her elbow. Bouncing underneath, Fatima Black kisses it off the glass. We're tied up again at 53. Norris with the ball on the inbounds. Trying to get across the timeline, does successfully. Gives it over to Reese near me. Reese goes left side. Now we're going to go baseline and trying to go underneath the Justice. Too much on that one. Stolen by Tillison. Tillison's going to give it back underneath. The kiss off the glass is good. Blankton scores, giving her three, her first field goal of the night. LSUA needs to slow it down just a bit, get back into their groove. Kelly Norris trying to go right side, going to give it back up to Sydney. Sydney top of the key, feeding it down inside to Justice. Justice turns around off the glass. Too much, will not go. Fatima Black with the rebound. Almost stolen by Kelly, going baseline back the other way. And offensive foul called on Xavier. Alicia Blanton just got her first personal. She didn't like it, but a timeout called by Coach Bo Browder. of Xavier will take the timeout as well. 55-53, LSUA trails by 2, but has the ball when we come back on the LSUA Generals Media Sports Network. Welcome back to the fort. 55-53. LSUA trails by 2, but with the ball, Sydney Person crosses the timeline. Moves it around, almost has her pocket stolen, gives it off instead. They're going to try to feed it down inside. Kelly Norris, left-handed layup, will not go. Blair Smith with the putback. The offensive board and the putback for Blair Smith ties it up at 55 with just over 6 minutes to go. I was just informed we'll have a media timeout at the next whistle. We'll wait for that. They're feeding it down inside Fatima. Moving the ball around so well, Xavier, well coached. Here's a three from the right side, will not go. And coming up with the rebound for LSUA, Princess Golf. Stolen. Ball long pass, trying to get it down to Sydney. Stepping in the way was Blanton, and ball was lost out of bounds by LSUA. So the tie ball had the opportunity to take a lead. Instead, it results in a turnover. 5:53 to go. Clock rolling in the fourth period. Game in the final 10 minutes of play. Right side, they're going to feed it down inside. Blanton puts the ball up. Rebound controlled for LSUA by Blair Smith. Has Fatima on her and wisely hands the ball off to Kelly Norris. LSUA moving the right side. Norris hangs on to the ball, picks up her dribble, now needs some help, gets it to Sydney. Sydney goes down to Blair, and a travel called on Blair Smith. So 2 trips down for LSUA have resulted in turnovers. And LSUA is going to bring in a couple of subs as Kelly Norris and Princess Golf will have a quick seat. Addison Walker and Reese Stevens check back in. Tied still at 55, under 5 minutes to go in the contest. Here's a long 2, will not go. Fighting for it out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by Jayla Williams, so LSUA will have the ball.
Media timeout.
And there it is. We said at the next whistle it would be here. And it's the timeout for us and you at home. Take a break, get something to drink. We'll be back with more right after Welcome back to the fort. The buzzer has sounded, the first buzzer of 2. 35 degrees outside. It's chilly. And it's hot inside the fort where the game is tied 55 all. LSUA trailed by as many as 11 in the second period. Fought back in the third period to get the lead, or to tie it up at 48, and remains tied up at 55. Caitlin Blake moves around, and we have a travel on her as Coach Perkins saw it and understands how it happened. It was a very nice pick set, but too much shuffling of the feet as Justice Young will check in now for Blair Smith. And we'll also see Kelly Norris coming in for Caitlin Blake. Coach Perkins gives her a nice hand around the shoulder, pat on the back. Way to encourage the player. 55 all, 4:34 to go in this contest. Jayla Williams, left-hand side with it, comes back up top over to Tillison. Tillison bounces inside. Fatima Black has Justice on her, instead gives it off. Near side, cutting into the paint. Far side they go. Williams for 3. Desperation shot will not go. Fighting Justice Young comes down with the rebound. So Reese Stevens will have the ball coming across center court line. Being guarded closely by Tiara Tillison. Reese trying to move right-hand side, keeping the ball in motion. Now comes near side. Addison hitting those trays early. Look out for her. Kelly Norris, she's going to go inside baseline, put the shot off the glass. Count the basket, no foul. But the lead goes back to LSUA for Kelly Norris. Great shot there, her sixth point of the game. Get them when they count. 3:30 to go. Cross court stolen. Cortland Redo put her hands up at just the right time. Stole that ball out of thin air. And a whistle away from the ball. Timeout. Coach called the timeout. Let's keep it here, and I'll talk through the timeout to update you a little bit. Addison Walker, the leading scorer for LSUA with 14. Segur for Xavier with 15. So the battle between the two leading scorers, the difference seems to be only one player in double digits for Xavier. LSUA has 2. Walker with 14. Person with 12. In a very close contest. LSUA overall, though, shooting 45% on 18 of 40. Xavier has had a lot more shots, though, 31% on 18 of 57. You see that? 17 more shots on goal. And three-pointers fairly even. 5 of 15 for LSUA, 4 of 25. Again, taking those shots, Xavier, and not able to capitalize. Free throw stripe, 16 of 22 for LSUA, 15 of 18 for Xavier. They're shooting 83% from the charity stripe. 2-point differential in this contest with 3:19 to go. LSUA will inbounds right in front of us. Kelly Norris gets it in to Reese Stevens. Reese sees Justice underneath, turn around. Put it off, will not go. Crashing the board. Fatima Black got the rebound. Saw the opportunity, did Fatima. Gave it off to Lafargue. Now they come near side. Tillison back to Lafargue. Left-hand side, they're going to bounce it down. And now coming back near side, Tillison for 3. And she swished it, giving Xavier the lead. 58-57, first lead since the tie game in the third. Justice has the ball off the glass as she gives the lead back to LSUA. 59-58, a 1-point lead for LSUA with 2:25 to go. Press being applied. LSUA trying to keep the ball out of the perimeter. This time in the paint, will not go. Fighting for it underneath. It's going to be Xavier with another offensive board. Lafargue inside to Seeger, and the ball lost. Kicked ball, retained possession does Xavier. Princess Golf is going to check in now for Addison Walker. 2:08 to go. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Handing it off to Tillison. Tillison keeps the ball. Comes over near side. Now they go back to Fatima for the long shot from the right. Will not go. And no boxing out this time by Xavier. Here's the touchdown pass off the glass. That's good. Sydney Person. Count the two. 3-point lead for LSUA after the Norris rebound and the Norris assist. And Coach Bowden says, hey, I need a timeout. Coach Browder checked that. Browder called his name a few times, missed it that time. LSUA with the lead, 61-58. We'll take the timeout as well. Back with more on the LSUA. Welcome back to the fort. 61-58. 3-point lead for the Generals with 1:37 to go in the contest. Generals trailed by 11 at one point. Have clawed their way back, tying it up after 3 at 48, and now with the 61-58 lead here in the fourth period of play. Trying to go inside. Xavier now for 3 on the left-hand side. It's going to be an air ball. Let it go out of bounds. They do. So Prince's Golf lets the ball fall out of bounds. Coach Browder says it was tipped by LSUA, thus the air ball. They're going to go to the playback and see. I couldn't tell you from here if it was tipped or not, but they're going to go check it out and see, was the ball tipped, thus causing the air ball. They will review the video.
Previous play is under review for out of bounds.
Nice call by PA announcer Rich Dupree for the very nice crowd. I am impressed with this crowd on this weather outside, this weather event. People are being encouraged to stay off the roads, but LSUA Generals fans are here en masse supporting their Generals. Just got an update. Stephen Maxwell over at Sinla Broadcasting updated that Clico has hired an additional 400 contractors to help with the winter storm aftermath. They're expecting to have a big impact on Clico's service area. They've prepared with the resources to restore power to customers as quickly as possible after the storm, after the event. In addition to their existing personnel, the Clico secured 415 additional contractor resources, including line mechanics, tree trimmers, logistical support, and they'll be working 24 hours a day to respond to power outages. So check, if you're a Clico customer, clico.com will help you with that information that you may need, letting you know when outages occur, if they do, and estimated time of power restoration. Minute 26 as we're waiting for the review to be completed by 3 different officials who will put their eyes on the screen and confirm whether the ball was tipped or not. Waiting for that official call. Athletic Director Tyler Unsicker manning the playback for the officials. Tyler's a busy man around here when he's not running this incredible athletic department with aplomb. He's out sweeping, mopping, whatever he's got to do to make the program successful. Also nice to see Dr. Paul Carell in the stands again. I tell you what, if he's within driving distance, he's going to be here supporting his Generals. And we hear the call, replay was inconclusive, so the call stands out of bounds on Xavier. It will be LSUA ball with 1:26 to go and a 3-point lead. That's the kind of call you like if you're a General. Not so much if you're a Golden Nugget. All right, pressure will be applied. LSUA gets the ball in. Princess Golf got it to Sydney, back to Princess. Over to Reese. Behind the back dribble. She's such a sure-handed ball handler. Reese with Williams on her. Sydney now far side. Thinking about the three. Pulls it back down, does Golf. And she's stuffed, but a foul is called. So getting more than you should. Jayla Williams picks up her fourth personal foul, third team foul, but it was a shooting situation, which will send Princess Golf to the line. Only 2 points of the evening. She's scoreless from the field, 0 of 3. But she has one tray, giving her the 3 points that she has. And check that. Missed both of those free throws. Doesn't have a tray, I'm sorry. She has 2 points on 2 free throws. Here's a three back the other way. Back iron will not go. Fighting for it just as Young. Went up for it, could not get it. Instead, Fatima Black got the rebound and the putback. So with 49 seconds to go, Xavier has pulled within 1 point. Timeout called by the Golden Nuggets, and they will assess their play here as we have 49.1 seconds to go in the contest. We'll take the timeout as well. Rest the voice back with more action on the LSU. Welcome back to the fort. The buzzer sounded. Time to get the action going. 49.1 seconds. Probably will not be the last stoppage in play with the game this contested. 61-60. LSUA with the lead and the ball as Kelly Norris will be inbounding for LSUA. On their side, gets it to Reese. About 15 seconds between the shot clock. Stolen by Xavier. And the putback is not there, but the rebound offensively is there for Xavier. The layup missed. Got Williams on the left-hand side. Williams tries to go baseline. Now she's blocked, and a timeout called by the Golden Nuggets. 28.5 seconds to go. Xavier calls the timeout as Williams was trapped in the left corner. They'll take a full timeout. We'll keep it here to talk about what's happening with these last 28.5 seconds. LSUA has led by 4 in the fourth quarter, now leads by 1. Xavier with the ball. They've got 12 seconds on the shot clock when they come back. And I did just see that Alicia Blanton just checked back in. The leading scorer the second leading scorer on the season has 3 points here tonight. As she did not start. By the way, Xavier is out of timeouts. You may not have known that, but I was just informed that by great folks because over the scoring table because they lost one on the challenge. Great information provided to us by the scoring table over there. And so they will not have another opportunity to call a timeout. Will that play into the gameplay? We'll find out as we watch these final few minutes of play. Final 28.5 seconds. Xavier out of timeouts. LSUA has 2 remaining, so big piece of information there for LSUA, and perhaps a strategical advantage. However, Xavier trailing by one, 61-60, has the ball with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Obviously, they need to be aware of how much time is on the shot clock. They do get it into Tillison. Tillison comes around the right-hand side, goes into the paint, puts the shot up, misses, fight for it underneath. Should be a jump ball. If it is, no, they're going to say a foul against Xavier. Question, who is the foul on? Foul is on 32, Alicia Blanton, her second. So rather than being a jump ball, possession arrow remains favor of LSUA, and LSUA takes one of its 2 final timeouts. So what, man, you talk about strategery, you've got it all right here in this contest. LSUA defended the inbounded ball, came up with the rebound, foul committed by Xavier, and LSUA with the lead and the ball with 19.5 seconds. Do they foul right away? Do they let them take the shot with a 1-point lead? You think that they're probably going to foul and try to make LSUA score with the clock stopped, because LSUA wants to burn those 19.5 seconds. They want to make them go away. All right, so LSUA now will inbound the ball. They get it into Sydney, and Sydney is immediately fouled by Tiara Tilson, who had none. She now has 1, and that with 18.3, that means that only 1.2 seconds went off the clock, is going to send to the line Sydney Person. Sydney to shoot from the line. She's tied as the leading scorer, knocks that one down, giving LSUA a 2-point lead. She now is in sole possession of the scoring lead for LSUA with 15. Make it 16. She knocked them both down, and LSUA has a 3-point lead with 18.5 seconds. Xavier has no timeouts. Cannot stop the clock. LSUA showing some press, light press, now backing out of it. 14 seconds to go, no shot clock. They've got to hit a 3 if they're going to tie it up. They give it to the lady who's hit the threes. Oh, it's stolen. Reese Stevens with the steal and the left-handed layup. 5-point lead for LSUA with 2.1 seconds, and that will be the ball game. LSUA wins, fights back from a 11-point deficit with the steal by Reese Stevens and the layup to seal the deal. Final score 65-40. LSUA ladies with the big win will go on to improve in RCAA, RRAC. We'll get that right. Overall, will improve to 9-10, but more importantly, 8-6 in conference play. LSUA with the huge win and the great defensive effort by Reese Stevens. Wow, what a contest, folks. I'm so glad you were here to see it with me, as I'm going to run down a couple of these scoring leaders for you. Sydney Person came on to score 16. Addison Walker with 14, the only players in double digits for LSUA, but that's all you needed to win by 5, 65-60. On the other side, Segur with 13, Williams with 9. And a game that, if you look at it, you look at the summary overall, it looked like it had been Xavier's game in the first half, led by as many as 11, but go on to lose by 5. What a huge win for LSUA. Statement win here. I can't wait to hear Coach Billy Perkins give us an update and hopefully come talk to us during the halftime of the men's game. We'll take the time out ourselves and come back in a few minutes. Hey, folks, make sure you're here for the men's game coming up next. LSUA versus Xavier. Who will it be? Let's find out. Coming up next on the LSUA General Sports Media Network.